This is a public service announcement from CTC. Every day in America, thousands of shopping carts are left abandoned from their home because of people's inability to self-govern and out of sheer laziness. These people suffer from TFL-TRC syndrome, too fucking lazy to return cart syndrome, otherwise known as liberal's disease. This is a serious illness plaguing America. If you or a beloved liberal you know suffers from this disease, have them call 1-800-I-AM-LAZY. That's 1-800-426-5209. Or visit our website at www.iamaliberal.com. Together we can help destroy this illness and people can once again self-govern. God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Don't call that number. It's probably somebody's number.
It probably is.
Right now, there's.
Although do would be funny, but still.
You should have
Did
called
you-
them
did
just
you
to give
check
them a
it?
heads
Did
up.
you check the number or no? You
No,
just, you just throw things out there and say, what the hell?
I did 1-800 I'm lazy and then I spelled it out on the keypad. So then,
And so, in the theme of being lazy, you didn't even bother to check the number. Is that what you're saying?
How ironic.
Hey, hey.
Yeah.
we don't fact check here. Come on now.
Why? We're like 50-50 on our fact checks.
TFL, C, T.
Too fucking
N.
lazy to return the card.
Or check the number.
Yeah, I was good.
Oh my God. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy hump day.
Yes, happy hump day.
Halfway through the week.
Yay.
We need a segment called Wacky Wednesday,
Ooh, I like that.
right? That'd be kind of funny.
The silly file isn't good enough?
We'll rename it Wacky Wednesday,
Okay, I can rename it Wacky Wednesday.
right? Why not?
And then I'll put on there because I keep thinking, now I thought of it and I didn't do it when I was working on it earlier this week about the news brews and
Hookers.
hookers. And I keep meaning to put that on somewhere.
Does that still need to be a t-shirt, you think?
Mhm.
Probably. What are you drinking over there, LCD?
Way too much
Water.
ice, but it'll melt. My lemon, blueberry, blackberry lemon.
So you two are still cleansing.
We are still cleansing. Yep.
And you're cleansing till when?
Super Bowl.
How long is
Awesome.
this going to be? How long does this make it if you go to Super Bowl?
It'll be right around 30
Right around
days,
a
right
month,
around
yeah.
when
Oh,
it's supposed to
okay.
be. Yeah.
Okay.
We're 16 days in right now, I think. 16 or 18 days in
Something like that.
on it.
Okay. Yeah.
You should have started on the first.
We did,
They
but then
had-
family came
The
in.
family came in.
So we did, but
Oh.
then family came in, so then we ruined it, and then we started
Oh,
over.
it all makes sense.
Yeah. So after the 30 days Super Bowl, we
So
get
we
to
started, and then we stopped, and then we started again.
right. We get to reintroduce some things,
Okay.
specifically alcohol. So we'll
Not that,
And
it, not,
good
that
coffee
it, not that it
creamer.
rules our lives, but it's just,
it's
Good coffee creamer.
it's a precursor to many things.
Yeah.
Right?
Then we can have new, shots, right?
Right, exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. So we can do that. So
yeah, I've been holding off on getting that new wine that comes in the little.
in the barrel.
Is it a wine or is it a whiskey?
Oh, sorry, correction, whiskey. The whiskey that comes in a.
Oh, the old oil tin
The old-
can
yeah,
thing.
the old-
Yeah, yeah,
Remember we
yeah.
were talking about. You said
Yeah.
you found it at Walmart. Is that right?
Yeah,
Walmart?
but
yeah,
they
we
were
found it at one,
gone.
but every time we've gone back, we can't find it now. And so we're gonna have to go to Total Wine.
Total Wine has it?
Yes,
Hmm.
So we've been told.
Hey John, is that a dog between your legs? Or you're
yes,
just
it
happy
is.
to see
Oh,
me?
I am both. Happy to see you,
Hi,
and I have a
Petey.
dog.
What is she,
She can't
doing?
go around the
She
other
is-
way because
She was laying there nice and she was calm right behind me, and then all of a sudden she decided she just needed to
She
be
needs to leave. It's fine.
there.
She's looks like she's stuck.
Well,
Petey!
it's because I was petting her, and now she's like, "Oh, I'm not."
Okay,
leaving.
now she's gonna come to me. Hi, TV.
Oh man,
Hi,
good stuff.
TV.
So one quick announcement I do want to make: if you notice that Will and Erica are not here tonight, Will and Erica have made a decision
A little
to
bit.
kind of step back from the show a little bit to spend a little more time with their little guy at home on Wednesdays.
You're a love bug. He's so cute.
He is. He's adorable. He's so cute.
Oh my God.
And
We
we
went-
never got the chance to meet him.
We went and had coffee with them.
He's
Was it Saturday morning or Sunday morning?
hilarious.
This was
Sure.
Saturday morning. I can't remember. My week
Sunday,
is shot.
Sunday.
Over the weekend.
And
Sunday.
he was just so cute.
Oh
he,
my
had,
God.
he had brought all his dinosaurs out for us to play with and everything. It was
And they all
fun.
have
It was fun.
names.
It was cute.
Like he can
That
name
means
every
you're on the
single
ins-
one.
That means you're on the inside because he showed you the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Right? I think so. What do you think, Eric? I think Eric is on, right?
She's
Yeah,
on.
she's
So as
on.
well.
What do you think? You think we
I think we're in the
Will's on
club.
too.
He's so cute. I
Yes.
got him to pick up 2 toys too. Erica was like, "Oh, it didn't work on the last time, but I got him to pick up 2."
so Will did send me a drink idea, which I had to share with you guys. It's
Probably not what we need in his life after he was talking about those
was
fry burger.
it's I know, right?
Oh.
It's banana liqueur. I gotta remember now. Banana liqueur, bananas, and root beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
that sounds
Yeah.
interesting.
It was interesting. If my phone wasn't the camera right now,
Banana
I would
liqueur.
pull
So
it
kind
out.
of like some kind of almost like a
Like a,
hopped up root beer float.
I was kind of thinking that too.
Well-
but root beer floats don't have bananas in them.
Yeah, I
No.
don't know. I don't know if I would consider it a root beer float. but-
I've heard the banana liqueur in like Godiva chocolate, and it's like a covered chocolate covered banana. I'll
we
do my own sound effects. Thank you very much.
we cannot talk tonight.
Although I
Yeah,
can't do the
right?
goat sound.
I wish I could make my keyboard just hotkeys and
I
have the
know, right?
sounds right.
Like
Can you say
F1.
that?
Why can't you do that? You're not using the keyboard for anything else.
Well, to type when people.
Yeah, but you guys
You're right,
just
I'm
the
not using
letters.
keyboard.
When are
anything
you
else.
typing? When are you typing?
He's not.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
All
Not
right.
so much.
We got a
Stop
lot-
calling him out.
We got a lot
John.
to get to tonight. Don't
All
worry.
right. I kind of went a little easy on the newsletter just because I knew we were going to have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Okay. Well, we do have a hooker tonight. Lindsay's-
Ooh,
We do.
Lindsay has
There's a
hooker story.
hooker.
Somebody did something particularly hookerish this
All right.
week.
Oh.
and
So
it
why don't we
was
do memes
brought
and then
to
we'll
my
go right into the
attention.
hooker.
Ooh.
Right
wow.
into
All
the
right,
hooker.
change
Okay,
it up.
let's do it.
All right. So we got some memes. Definition of stupid: knowing the truth, seeing the truth, but still believing Joe Biden.
I almost spit that out.
If no mentally disturbed person should have an assault weapon, should a mentally ill president have an army?
Ooh.
That's
Ooh.
thought provoking.
Right?
Is it in your news about what we sent someplace this week?
Abraham. Abrams tanks.
Are those in your?
That was in last week's actually.
It was.
I know, but
We'll talk
I
about
we
it.
were talking about it.
Well, there's actually a funny story in there about.
Okay,
the
good.
Abrams
Then
tanks.
good. I can share what I know. Okay.
And in our effort to be politically incorrect with all the gun violence going on, I figured I'd add this in there. Admit it. These were real guns when you were a kid.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
they were.
And when you got shot, it was very dramatic.
It was.
Well, and I will admit, and I was watching a YouTube show of channel something, whatever, once not too long ago, and
What?
they were talking about back in the day when we used to actually shoot BB guns at each other, and we didn't care about, eye protection and all this.
Oh,
Eye
yes,
protection.
yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, right.
Well, you probably played with what was it? Those house darts or whatever.
Oh, the
The
lawn
jarts?
jarts.
The
Yes.
jarts.
Yes.
Jarts. Those are great.
Those were
Jarts.
Jarts. They were
awesome.
called jarts.
And you threw those up in the air and waited till
Everybody
the last
dodged
person
them.
ran.
Hell yeah.
No, we didn't do that, but we
You just threw them at each other.
I knew people who did.
Yeah.
we used to literally we used to take, and my brother and I and used to shoot bottle rockets at each other.
Oh, I did that too.
You ever shoot them out of the end of a wiffle ball bat? You know, the wiffle ball bat's got the little hole.
no.
Yeah, you put the stick
No.
down in there, hold it out, and shoot it out. Yeah.
What are the
Mom and Dad, I did not do that, by the way.
No. What are
They
the
were
fireworks?
they did it to you.
What are the fireworks that you light it and it shoots out the balls? Not Roman candles. Are they Roman candles?
Yes.
Well, yeah, Roman kid,
Yeah.
they shoot them straight up.
They shoot the balls out the end. Yeah, they
Yes.
only shoot them straight up if you put them in the ground.
Oh, I saw. So look this up if anybody
And
wants
nobody
to see
caught
some,
on fire. None of us ever caught on fire.
if anybody wants
lot.
to see some total shenanigery.
Shenanigery.
I doubt
Is that a new word?
Shenanigery?
I might be.
Shenanigans.
So they took something in the neighborhood of like 50 Roman candles and they taped them around a broomstick handle
Yes.
and then lit them with a torch and sat there, and I saw it on YouTube, and then they sat there, and this thing is just
Pew, 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 pew,
oh
pew,
yeah,
pew.
it was awesome. It
That
was
sounds
it was
amazing.
it was America all over.
America. That is a good America moment.
So heavy metal bought the Santin Caramello. Ooh,
It's
there we
good,
go.
It is,
That one's
isn't it?
really good. I
Mm.
like that one.
Yeah,
Do
I like
that.
this. This is one of my
Have
favorites.
Andrea.
This is our
That's
old
why I was
smoky, salty
laughing.
caramel.
So that's what it's called. It's called banana booter.
That's
Thanks
what
for
Booter.
that.
Oh, I love it.
As soon as I,
I love
saw
the
that, I was
name.
cracking up. So, Andrea,
What old smoky you
It's
drinking?
it's
This is-
salty caramel.
Salty caramel. I love this because actually Wendy likes this too.
so Andrea, you need to take
no,
that
we can both drink
salty,
it.
your Carmelo, and put it with Crown Royal green apple, and you have those candies.
Oh, yeah.
Those suckers. It's
Oh, yeah. Oh,
delicious.
that does sound
Yeah.
Wasn't that something that Christine said?
I think so.
I think
And
so.
we
Oh,
tried it, and
yeah,
it is
yeah.
good.
That's really good.
Speaking of Christine, she on? I didn't think I,
I didn't,
saw
I
her.
didn't see her yet.
She's running late again.
Oh, okay.
I'll give her 10 more minutes.
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet
I love that one.
Boys.
Thought
That
was
end
funny.
looks like Dad.
It does.
Okay.
No,
well,
it doesn't.
yeah.
No, it
On to the
I was
next
just kidding.
one.
I was just kidding.
Do you realize you're not wearing your mask correctly? Batman meets Karen. I thought that was funny. Oh man, I remember when this was normal and nobody freaked out.
Oh
Right?
my gosh! Especially if you lived in the country, this was normal.
I had people in high school who would do that.
Yeah.
We had it too.
Yeah.
I remember when they used to actually like have, archery and shooting in class.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got to have that?
I
Yeah.
served this country for decades. What is China for 37,000?
Right.
I thought that was
That is
So
great.
Bongino, if you haven't watched in the last like week and a half or so, is connecting all the dots on
Uh-oh.
where there is all these different threads that are being unraveled that are tying certain presidents, sons, certain we're going to pay you to be on the board for a Burisma out of Ukraine for nothing, to do nothing, just
Right.
put your
You
name
put
on
your
there,
name on it.
and all these different things, and then also some possible China
China.
intersections that are going on in there, considering China had invested somewhere upwards of $40 to $50 million in the Penn Biden Center, and so and I don't know why they invested that kind of money in a think tank in Washington.
Right.
What could possibly
Go wrong.
anyhow, moving on.
Well, I need the sound of a washing machine.
right. So this is an actual true story. I saw this. A couple senators had put some things out that said literally Bernie Sanders is going to charge you $95 for this symposium or whatever you want to call it to tell you about his new book that capitalism is bad. So he's charging money to tell you about how capitalism is
About
bad.
his book.
So does
that he
anyone
wrote.
see the irony?
Yeah, I was gonna
here?
say
Right.
the irony is thick.
The
Oh my
irony
gosh.
is thick, and that's what several of his fellow senators
Wow.
are going. Yeah, this
Okay.
only the stupid would say, yeah, I see nothing wrong.
But there you go.
I would only go.
but it goes back to
on.
AOC as a prime example, right?
Right.
She was sitting there and she's touts about eat the rich, and she's sitting there and she was taking that T-shirt that she printed up and she wanted to sell it for $45 a pop.
Right.
And it's
There
like,
you go,
really?
honey.
Okay, so yeah, tell us again about how while you're getting out of your Tesla, how the rich sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll only go if Bernie wears his mittens.
You want to know what? He'd charge you extra for that.
Yeah. So this was another one along with that. The anti-capitalism book tour and charging $95 ticket on Ticketmaster, and then you got the other one.
Yeah.
That all three of these go together. That's why I sent them to you together.
I think I put them in together.
Bernie
Yeah.
charging $95 for people to learn about anti-capitalism. I mean, it's just all three of those. It's like, really?
But there are going to be those people that don't see that
They're not going to get why that's wrong.
exactly. They don't understand. I don't know if it's that they don't understand what the definition of capitalism is or what, but they won't see it.
Right.
That's okay.
Nope.
Yeah, he is a moron. And then he is also.
Did you see his hair? Come on.
Now, keep in mind,
Dads are Bernie.
Dan, we're coming back.
Oh,
Dan, we're coming back to you later on in the show.
Oh,
Dan, I still love you.
Oh, that's true. I'm out. Keith's out. You
Yeah.
guys are the only ones left. 'Cause I
Right.
told him he looked like the guy.
Boy, I sure hope gas don't get me higher.
It's so true.
That's just wrong.
Snoop used to be at the top of that list, wasn't he?
no, yeah.
Snoop just he stick with weed, man. He's good.
You know, he's got to be upset that he got bumped
Now
off.
tell me
I know.
this isn't true. The only true truly secure document in Washington is the Epstein list.
Right.
Yep, that's
You
the only
know,
thing
I
that
heard
hasn't
somebody
been
else.
found yet.
I heard a commentator on one of the
And
news programs.
Hillary's emails, right?
Oh no,
Well,
she deleted those.
they said the only one that doesn't have, they said the only ex-politician or current politician in Washington that doesn't have classified documents is Hillary.
Because
she
they're all
deleted
erased.
those.
Because those were all destroyed.
Yeah.
She got rid
She
of them
was
the
no
right
dummy.
way.
Right.
Delete.
Well, she is. a
And
dummy,
clear,
but-
clear,
Yeah.
clear.
So tell me this isn't true for anybody,
God.
so raising kids is like being constantly surrounded by a tiny sales team. They're always trying to persuade you into doing or buying something, and they assume everything you say is just an opening offer.
That is so true.
That is
Oh my gosh. I wish I had seen that like years ago.
That's awesome.
Right? You're just
I
gonna put
love
that on
that one.
shirts and start selling that to moms, man.
And tell me this just doesn't create a visual in your head. Wait, she just added it back to the cart.
That is my
That
life.
is a good one.
There's
I like
a ton
that
of
one.
them literally
Yeah.
sitting there with my name on it because I have 30 things.
It
in
would
my
have been
cart.
funnier if they had been minions, though.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
that would have been
Right?
funnier.
Or
That
the,
would have been.
or
Yeah.
the Munchkins from Wizard of Oz.
Oh my god!
That'd be
That
good
is
too.
funny. And we got one meme left sent in by Bios to Books this week.
Schiff, Swalwell, and Omar. GOP should not treat me this way. It's not fair. And somebody just, his Chinese fortune cookie is
The GOP
busted
should
open.
not treat us the way we treat them.
I will give Adam Schiff a lot of credit. I have never seen anybody that sits there and lies with such a straight face as proficiently as he does.
Right.
When he sits there and
Isn't that what they call it? The
and-
shift show?
I mean, when they sat there and one of the, I think it was a CBS on the Sunday programs said you had proof of the Russian collusion connection. Well, I didn't say that.
No, you did.
And it's like there's 20 videos of him saying, yeah, I got proof.
Right.
And he sat there and he told her, I didn't say that.
Do people not realize that in this day and age with things being recorded that people can look this stuff up and say,
literally everything.
That's
comes back
again,
to
it goes
you.
back to what I said.
Everything.
I have never seen anybody that can lie. I would not want to play poker with Adam Schiff because he could sit there and he
You'd
is
lose, huh?
such a he could bluff all day long.
Yeah.
And
He'd
you'd
put
never know.
diamonds in front of you and be like, "These are spades," and you're
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
he'd have you convinced.
What?
Oh my
otherwise,
God.
right?
He is good.
But Wendy, to your comment, I think today's society, we are a one day at a time society. So
Yes.
we watch the news today, whatever story was yesterday, we've already forgotten about it.
And there's a lot of truth in that.
So
Yeah, there's so much coming at us.
right.
Yeah.
mhm.
Right.
It was
So-
a lot easier when we had, I don't know about
3 news stories.
well, I mean, so like, we come from the Chicago market. And so you had, 3 main news outlets, and then you had a couple smaller, minor news outlets. And that was it. And that was where you got your news from. And they
Yeah.
were, roughly coming from the same news stories because
Yeah.
everybody would see it all kind of
Right.
the same. So, nowadays it comes at you from all angles and it's hard to keep track.
True.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you're getting stuff from all other states. When I grew up, it was you had 3 news channels.
Right.
You watched those, and it was the same 20 stories. No matter what channel you put it on, it was the same 20 stories. Whatever happened yesterday or today, or whatever. You didn't get anything from across the country. Like we didn't talk about what was happening in Florida or New York or Ohio or Chicago unless it was huge.
Sorry, Andrea,
huge.
sorry.
Yeah, they weren't as connected. I mean,
No.
in this day and age, things are more
Everything.
connected. So you hear more,
Mhm.
other state news and definitely
Shifty Schiff.
And I-
international.
I think that's how we get a lot of distraction. Because, don't really talk about what's going on. Let's talk about this and this and this and over here and look over there and look at this over here. And
Well, and they say honestly that at least in the social media space, that there's a lot of these bots that come from either Russia, they come from Iran, and they come from China, where they sow discontent on both sides. So they pick any, whatever you want,
Yeah.
right? And they will throw pro and con against each thing because the whole idea is just to create discourse and division.
Mhm.
Sounds like our
absolutely.
government.
They're not trying to prove anybody's point.
Right.
They
No.
want to create a further division so that
Mhm.
way there's
Yeah.
more discourse.
Yep.
Sounds like the current administration.
Yes.
Very interesting.
keep separating people. Absolutely.
Oh, I should probably take
Good
the
stuff.
comment off, huh?
Yeah.
That's up to you.
You'd have
It's
to
been
go
a
back
while.
and
You're a little
I'm a little
Rusty on
rusty.
those.
I'm a
Yeah.
little rusty here. A little
That's
rusty.
okay.
So we got our first CTC fan photo.
Swag fans.
fan photo.
Fan photo.
Ooh.
And they were ready, to watch the show.
I
And
love
Jeffrey,
that.
he's
Jeffrey
mad
could
he doesn't
care
have
less.
his.
Right? Keep sending in the photos. And speaking of capitalism, yes, we do have CTC swag. We have
Woo-woo.
t-shirts right now. If you're interested, email us at coffeetablechronicle@gmail.com.
Or
AOC sells
message
those
one
for
of
twice
us.
as much.
What's that?
AOC sells those for twice as much.
Yeah, she's a rich hooker.
And they're
now. We don't
really
have any money.
comfortable. They are
They're
like
super
super
They are.
soft.
Super
Yeah.
soft.
I'm
Yes.
excited. I already got. We got our first order.
Really?
Yeah, Andrea texted me and she's like, Arthur wants one. I was like, okay, we don't have them till Globe, so you're gonna have to wait. Sorry.
Yep, it's gonna be fun. And we got some more stuff that in the works. We're looking at hats, we're looking at shot glasses, looking at coffee mugs. So
Big metal
Ooh,
coffee
shot
mugs
glasses,
like
I guess
those.
sounds
Yeah.
Nice.
so some good stuff coming down the
Awesome.
line.
Shot glasses
Yeah.
are expensive.
Yeah, they're
I'll
not, they're not
pay the
cheap to get
price.
printed.
Any of that stuff is expensive.
I'll
Yeah.
pay
They're the
price.
same as a coffee mug.
What? For
Yeah.
a shot glass?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's that thick bottom.
I don't know, but I was like, oh, it's the same. I guess they're both going for the same price. That's fine.
That just surprises me.
Yeah.
it's crazy. But
Hooker.
it might be
Hooker, well, let's do a
pre-hooker.
well, no, I need to give a shout out to our sponsor,
Oh,
Yes.
Americano Ammunition Coffee. We're gonna
Yes.
run that commercial, then we'll go to
So
our
good.
Hooker of the Week. Long and
And the hooker of the week,
and the Hooker of the Week is none other than
Whoopi herself.
Whoopi
Oh, what
Goldberg.
did she do? I haven't been
Yeah,
paying
what'd she
attention.
do now?
she's got
So-
one hell of a mustache in that picture.
She
doesn't
really does, doesn't
Wow,
she?
I didn't realize
And-
that.
Is she taking hormones to be a man now? Is that her new thing? Sorry.
Possibly.
The picture I saw of her, she was a big hooker. So I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
So what'd
So-
she do?
Yesterday,
Okay.
she said that if white people started getting beat up by the police, they'd care.
Ah.
Then she went on to say, hold please. I don't want to get this wrong.
Because we're not caring enough
No, hold on. It gets
about
better.
what
It gets
happened in
better.
Memphis.
It gets better. She says, well, this is white people doing it to white people. So y'all going to fight amongst yourselves. That was her quote referring to the Holocaust.
Wow.
So she said we
She
need,
said that last night.
she said we
yesterday?
need another Holocaust
Wow.
so that white people can feel what it's like.
So she's already been suspended from the View once.
She apologized for it, but
she
apparently
got in trouble for saying that the Holocaust twice already before yesterday was not racist because it was white people against white people, and yet it was Hitler
Okay.
wanting to wipe out an entire race
which
of
is
people
Jews.
just because the skin color was not different enough for Whoopi's taste.
Yeah.
It wasn't racist enough.
Well, Hitler kind of created his own race, didn't he, for the people he wanted to.
The Aryan
execute?
race?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
mean-
it's been known colloquially forever, for generations, about the Aryan race
Mm.
versus the Jewish race, and I understand the aspect of Judaism is not necessarily a race. Judaism is obviously
A religion.
it's a religion because the Jews were, I mean, some of them were German Jews,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
but they were not part of the Aryan race.
Yep.
Which had nothing to do with, because even Whoopi sits there and, I will agree with her in the respect that it has nothing to do with borders.
No.
But it has to do with your lineage, which is the
Yep.
definition of race.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I told Keith.
And it's too bad that we didn't
I said, poor,
know about
And
the
they
hooker
said that
first to
multiple
be able
times.
to have some statistics.
We do.
we tried to, we
Ooh,
We
awesome.
do?
We have
Okay.
we
Come on
have
now.
some
I
statistics.
put him, I gave him a job today, but I have one more.
Okay.
Okay.
So Goldberg responded that if you're going to do this, and let's be truthful about the Holocaust because it isn't about race. She added that the Holocaust, which was an estimated 6 million Jews and 5 million others killed as a result of Nazi racist ideology, was about man's inhumanity to man, and it was just two white groups of people involved.
Wow, that's kind of ballsy. It's kind of
She
stupid,
probably
actually.
has
I
them.
wouldn't say it ballsy. It's stupid.
She's looking for a new fan club now, huh?
Apparently.
Yes.
So if we're not of the black persuasion, black race, whatever you want to call it,
Doesn't you're
then it
nothing.
doesn't matter.
Nope.
And now
Doesn't
tell
matter
me
what you
how, right? Because they always keep saying now that if you sit there and you can flip and make it any other race and it still sounds racism, guess what? It's still racist.
It's still
It is,
racist.
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what she's saying is totally racist.
Absolutely.
100%.
But
So-
she won't be deemed as that because she's a black woman.
Well, and
That
you
has a
know,
mustache.
unfortunately, ABC is not going to let one of their high
Producing, of
high
course
producing
not.
talents out the door.
Yeah.
Well, talent's a very loose term when it
Well,
comes to
true.
her.
High producer.
Yeah.
Is she a producer too to the show?
No, like a high producer of money.
Well, yeah,
But money.
yeah.
She's,
Yeah.
she's
I don't know.
production
probably.
value, I guess. Right.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, so there are enough of the woke companies that will sit there and,
Support it.
well, yeah, they'll advertise, and that's all
Right.
that matters. Is, you know, they probably get quite a bit of advertising money for their time slot in mid morning.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although they used to get it because like doctors' offices and stuff had them on,
Oh yeah.
stuff like that. There's none of that anymore.
Oh, they put the game shows on now.
It's all game shows.
Right. I noticed
That's
that. Yeah.
therapy,
That's
or
funny.
it's like the house guys or the cooking shows.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Like there is no talk shows on there, so you just turn that crap off.
All right, let's go to some statistics. So I did do a little bit of research real quick. I don't know the reliability of this site. It's Statista 2023. So
This is where we got it from in case y'all decide to kick us off.
Yeah, so 2017 to 2022.
Saying.
So I mean, if you look at the numbers,
and what is
So this is police brutality against each race.
each
Okay.
race.
Okay.
So in
This is actually
2017,
I believe this is death
Oh, this
by
was deaths?
police.
that's,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
so deaths by police, white man. I'm sorry, didn't mean men. Men is in a plural term, is in a white
Whites.
human.
Right.
White humans 458, black humans 222,
That's half.
half. Hispanics 180, other 44, and unknown 77. So I don't know what that means. They were unknown. Like they were mixed and they couldn't tell.
Yeah,
they
biracial
didn't- or they
maybe.
didn't know.
Yeah. Well, they
Okay.
didn't know. Right.
Yeah, that's so 2018 still half.
I mean, look at 21.
2019 half. Oh my God, 21 is like a quarter.
Staggering difference there.
22 is the only one that wasn't half.
Right.
Good job. White people, we went down.
Yeah, right.
That's because we weren't out.
Well,
stealing
and it's,
things
I
we
mean,
were-
and regardless
Sitting at
of the statistics, Whoopi just speaks on emotion.
Right.
Oh,
And so, and I think
doesn't
I've
even
said
know
it in
what
the
she's
Well,
past.
don't a lot of people do that?
Well, and I've said that in the past. If you find anybody that's commenting by emotion and their whole argument is emotional,
You're done.
then they're
That's not
talking out their
fact-based.
ass,
Yeah.
basically.
Just let them go.
No, it didn't quite last 1,000 years. They told it was going to,
Yeah.
but you know, yeah, hers is a racist attitude.
very
Will. You're
racist
absolutely
attitude.
absolutely true.
Huge.
The sad part is there's gonna.
That's great.
That's scary.
I like that comment.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And so
Oh yeah,
she's-
growing up, she was so good.
Yes.
In like, and me and Keith had the
Sister Act.
Sister Act is great. Oh my goodness,
Ghost. Yeah.
amazing. And then
But
She got
wa-
on the
she
She
became
she
a
wasn't
lesbian.
political
I don't
back
know.
then, right?
Well, but
I
see,
mean,
back then, though, think about it. Back then, during the Reagan years, Reagan was an actor, and California was all Republican.
right. True.
So somewhere along the line,
It's changed.
California changed to deep blue, and as an example, Texas turned from deep blue to deep red.
Right.
So things have changed politically, and it's become so politically charged now because
Oh,
of
absolutely.
the whole,
Seriously.
you know, racial stoking, things like that, the division that gets, the race baiting that gets happened by, you get these so-called priests now that sit there and want to do the race baiting.
Right.
And it's ridiculous.
I'll have to put it up. Morgan Freeman did a speech a while back on racism.
Yes.
And did you see that one? It was a great
he
speech,
was
one of the best speeches.
Yeah, he was
and he
spot
said,
on.
"You want to end racism? Stop talking about it."
Exactly.
Stop talking about it.
Exactly.
That's what he
Absolutely.
said.
Because
Stop talking about
otherwise,
it.
you
We're
keep
doing is
throwing
feeding
it
the
out there.
beast.
You keep pushing it. You're just causing more
Mhm.
division.
You're feeding the beast.
Yeah.
Is there always going to be racism? Yes, there's always
matter
going to be
what.
some form of racism.
There's
You're always going to
always-
have jackasses out there that
Exactly.
do what they do, but we're making it much bigger than it really is.
Exactly. Because you're
Absolutely.
inflaming more people than, just your goofballs out there.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you're always going to have the, extremists on either end.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Well, and
You're
it's-
not going to get rid of them.
Yeah.
It's a comment that I heard a long time ago back when
Exactly.
when I lived in Memphis, and it was asked once, why is race such a big issue in the South, or at least in Memphis, it was a huge issue.
Right.
And part of it was because of the fact that a lot of the politicians couldn't get elected if race wasn't an issue.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just like why we keep bringing
So,
up abortion. gotta keep-
whatever
keeping it to the
whatever you
top.
want to call it, the race issue comes up only because of the fact. Not only, I'm sure that I should probably back that off some, but
A lot
the
of
race
times.
issue comes up a lot because of the fact that it's being stoked by politicians, because this is the forefront that they want to get elected on, the forefront they want to stay in power on, and they keep stoking it just for their benefit, not yours.
Absolutely.
And the ones that are pushing for it
Just like
tend to
gun
be the
control.
most racist out there.
Right, absolutely. And I will equate it to, it's almost exactly like Big Pharma.
Right.
Big Pharma is not out there to solve your problems.
Nope.
They're just out there to get you hooked on whatever drug
Mhm.
they're pushing at the time.
Exactly.
Take this pill, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Oh, did that pill do this? Take this for that.
If you
so
take
can
this
the
pill
other
for the rest of your life, you will be fine.
Great. I refuse drugs. I won't, like if I go to the doctor and they want to prescribe
that
me something,
caffeine?
I'm like, news of the week.
Shots fired.
Wow.
Did you just feel that finger
I
from
just-
across the room? I really felt it.
Wow.
That was a big old. Where
I
do
need
those
to-
foam
Hey,
fingers? That's what
my
you
alcohol
need.
is
Like,
good too.
You ready? You ready for some news of the week there?
Keith is not censored in any way with alcohol, so you got to watch out, John.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Right. You gotta hurt my feelings.
No, I'm not.
You gotta hurt
No,
his
trust me.
feelings.
You have known me long enough. If I hurt your feelings, that's your own damn fault.
Right.
All right. February 1st, 2023.
God, we're in February
Self-governing.
already?
Are you capable? Wendy, are you ready to read?
Okay.
So the topic. This came up actually earlier in the week. Wendy had pointed this out. So I want Wendy to read this, but it's called the shopping cart
It's so
theory.
good.
So I actually blew this up
Oh,
It
I was
is
going to
so
say, I
good.
can't read that.
Yeah, you're like, I have it
because,
on my
and I want
text.
everybody to take a moment to either follow along or listen to what Wendy is saying.
If we make just him big, it mutes us, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then I guess not. You guys.
I
just
can do
have
it.
to-
I can do it this way. I know John doesn't like it this way, but I can do it this way.
There you
That's
go.
fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that works for right now.
Okay. So the shopping cart theory, if you know me, you know that shopping carts, when people leave them, it is one of my biggest pet
Oh.
peeves. And it's not just because of the laziness. This kind of just explains the psychology behind it.
Yep.
So this actually was posted by one of John's, not one, but John's brother, and it was spot on. So the shopping cart theory. The shopping cart is the ultimate litmus test for whether a person is capable of self-governing. To return the shopping cart is an easy, convenient task, and on which we all recognize as the correct, appropriate thing to do. To return the shopping cart, not the shoring cart,
I hand
know,
typed this.
is objectively right. There are no situations other than dire emergencies in which a person is not able to return their cart. Simultaneously, it is not illegal to abandon your shopping cart. There, the shopping cart presents itself as the apex example of whether a person will do what is right without being forced to do it. No one will punish you for not returning the shopping cart. No one will fine you or kill you for not returning the shopping cart. You gain nothing by returning the shopping cart. You must return the shopping cart out of the goodness of your own heart. You must return the shopping cart because it is the right thing to do, because it is correct. A person who is unable to do this is no better than an animal, an absolute savage who can only be made to do what is right by threatening them with a law or the force that stands behind it. The shopping cart is what determines whether a person is a good or bad member of society.
So
100%.
as an example, so whenever Wendy and I go to, pick whatever store we go to. And so if we find, which in Arizona, and I
You
think
always do.
you find tons of shopping carts out in the parking lot. She will go and she will grab a cart or two
And-
that's just sitting randomly, not sitting in the corral, but just sitting randomly. And we will roll that in right into the store and use that as our shopping cart. If we grab two, which is not uncommon, we'll return one to the corral or return one inside and then use the other one to go in through the store and then bring it back. And we always return it to the corral. Not trying to make it that we are better than anybody else, but just pointing out the fact that it is not.
You're walking to the store anyhow. It's not that big of a deal
Not
to
that big
grab
of
a
a deal.
cart and take it with you. But what, and I'm going to kind of go off topic, not off topic, but I love Aldi because you have to put a quarter in to get your cart and then you got to return it to get your quarter back.
Yep,
So-
absolutely.
Unfortunately, though, that doesn't always solve the problem, though, because
It's just a
some
quarter
a
to people.
quarter to people is not a big deal. You know what I mean?
But it's not
So-
even that you don't even spend the quarter.
But it's kind of like a little
Right.
law or a little,
No, I get-
way
I
to
get that.
force
You put
the-
people
you
to
put-
do that. And
Yeah.
that's sad that you have to do that to get people to do something so simple.
100%. 100%. Well, when you guys saw the opening, that was filmed at one of our local grocery stores today.
Yep.
And all those carts that was sitting out there. I even saw, because I went to Walmart trying to find, because I thought for sure there'd be a shit ton of carts for me to video there, It really wasn't because it was still early. But as I'm leaving Walmart, I look over by this other section of stores, over by like the Staples.
Mhm.
There was a Target shopping cart.
Mhm.
Target's 2 miles away down the road.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Oh,
And
we've
it's like,
It's
crazy.
like way across the main street, all through the other shopping center. Yeah, not even close.
Yeah,
It's
well
it's-
because people
like a
take
15-minute
them
walk. Yeah.
because people take them and they use it as a personal shopping cart
Yeah.
to get them close to home and then they ditch it. I mean, we found shopping carts in our
Neighborhood.
neighborhood and I'm out for my walk. It's like, okay, let me go to the grocery store and return the cart.
Well, have you guys seen now? Fry started doing this about a year ago, I think. So they put this wheel on the cart that if you hit those detectors going out, your
Yes.
cart automatically locks up on you.
But
Yes.
again,
they did that a
it's
long
putting a
time
little
ago.
law or a way to force people
Right.
not to,
To steal?
well, that and not to take the
Well,
cart.
it has nothing to
Right.
do with
I think
stealing. The
that's- I
vast
think
majority of
that's-
them aren't stealing.
No, I think that's good and bad. Like we had that. So my very, very first job when I was 14, I worked at Fry's. I was a bagger and I had to go wrangle those carts in the middle of summer. So that started my put your carts away because it's hotter than all bejesus in Arizona in the summer. And these poor people are out wrangling carts. Like that's awful. So I'm the same thing like Wendy. Like I'll take my cart in. Even if I pull it from the corral, I'll take it in and I'll bring it. Why add another one to the corral? I'm walking by it on the way to
Mhm.
the store. I'll take it myself.
That's why she married me, because one of
Really
our first
is.
few days.
That was the test, right?
It was one of the first
We
days
went-
we were together. I returned my cart and she just looked at me.
I was like, oh,
There's not a lot of people that do though.
literally, like he opened
Did
the
she-
door,
did
let
she-
me in, closed the door, and then he went and put the cart away. And I was like,
All right, now you're
So
telling
let's
too
do-
much.
Did she sit there and tell you to go take that one back too?
made me so happy.
Grab that while you're at it.
Grab that one too.
All right,
I
so you
just
wanna-
came back and gave him the look, and he
Do you
was
want
like,
to research some of the psychology behind it?
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
let's do it. I love psychology.
So I found this article from Scientific American, why people don't return their shopping carts. There were a couple things that were key in it that were actually interesting. So it said people may leave their shopping cart stranded for some of the following reasons. It's too far away from their parked vehicle for the corral. They have a child whom they don't want to leave unattended. The weather is bad. They have a disability. The perception that somebody else is going to do it, and then leaving the cart for someone else is easy to pick up and eat for them to do. It's basically, I'm too lazy.
So I'll
and
give you
somebody
two
else-
of those.
right.
I'll give you the weather's bad. If it's snowing and downpouring, I'll give you that. You have a child you don't want to leave unattended. If they're little, I'll give you that.
So
But-
okay,
To
but
a
there's
point,
but there's ways around it.
There is.
There's ways around it because I mean I've had two kids.
Yeah.
I've always returned the cart, but I parked right next
the
to a
problem.
cart corral. So guess what?
It was right there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
There
solve
is.
your
There is.
problems.
There is.
Yeah,
But
Those are the only two I'll sort of give you.
but
really, you can, I mean, dovetailing off of what Wendy said, really, you put your purchases in the car and then you drag your kids. All right, kids, come on. Let's go return
Yeah.
the cart. We're going another,
10 feet.
30 feet,
Yeah.
whatever, over this direction. Boom, done.
That's why I say
And then,
it depends. If
and
they're
then you
little,
go and you throw them in. I mean, so see, and
Yeah.
Erica says, she was pregnant as a bagger and she was
Yeah.
doing that. So
it's terrible. Like it's awful here in the summer. Whew.
So there are 5 categories. I thought this was an interesting part of the article. There are 5 categories of cart users. There are the returners. There are the never returners. There are the convenient returners. There are the pressure returners because they think everybody else is judging them.
We are.
And the child driven returners where they make it actually into a game for the kid sitting in the cart
Yeah.
and go crashing into other carts like bumper cars.
There you go.
Okay.
whatever it takes. Cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was just kind of funny
That's
that
cute.
Because you're teaching them something too.
Well, and that's, amen. That's a good point. I
You're
didn't even think
teaching
about
them.
the fact that you are actually, when you do that with your children,
Yeah, you're
Mhm.
not just strapping them in and worried about, the kids are watching.
Mhm.
they
All
are.
day
They
long.
watch
Learning.
they watch what you do.
And so if you
And
are
that's a great
going and
example.
pointing out that you're returning the cart versus just strapping them in and leaving the cart right there,
Yeah. They're
what's the
watching that.
difference? What's the difference that you're doing as the quote unquote mentor,
Oh wow, you're being
Parent.
like a parent,
right? But on the flip side,
Okay.
you get some people that literally will defend their position of I'm not returning the cart.
Why?
And
What's-
Wendy's
what's your
laughing. She's like,
defense?
really? How do you defend this?
What's your
It
defense?
doesn't surprise me. That's why I'm laughing. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. What is your
What's
defense?
the
Yeah.
defense?
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, when you research this, when you research the shopping cart theory on Google or wherever,
Mm-hmm.
and there are legitimate things that say debunking the shopping cart theory. And it's like, really? How do you debunk that? How do you really say, no, I'm a good person, but I just won't return my shopping cart? I have a problem with that
Yeah.
because I'm going to call.
They don't want to be deemed as a bad person.
Well, that's
Of
it. So
course
you're going to, well, and it's, again, it comes back to the same old story, right? You get some of these kids that will sit there and they will stomp their feet and have a tantrum instead of going and just picking up their shirt and putting it in the hamper.
It's true.
And they would rather have a 20-minute tantrum instead of doing what you've asked them to
And
take
you're
them
Well,
still
these-
gonna have to
20
do that.
seconds.
these are the same people that realize they don't want mozzarella cheese and they leave it by the cereal
Oh.
instead of walking it back
Well,
to
that's
where
true.
the cheese is. Those are the same type,
Those
right?
are-
I mean,
Yeah,
you
no,
see,
that's
you
a
see
good
it
point.
all the
That's a
time.
very good point.
It's
We-
the same
Literally,
people.
that's funny. Wendy and I were at the store just last night and we found somebody that we're in the pie section, the frozen pie
Right.
section. And we found somebody that got one of the little slices of pie way over on the other side of the store at the deli.
Yeah.
And they just go,
They
oh,
stuffed it in the freezer and took something else.
yeah, oh, the whole pie looks better. Here, throw that in there. Somebody will take care of that.
And it wasn't just one thing. There were several. in
And Wendy
there.
just goes, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, that was fries
That's why I brought up the mozzarella
a couple
cheese.
days ago. It was the people in front of us
Was it?
that left it there, and I 100% called them out. Not specifically saying I know it was you, but I handed it to the register girl when she was still sitting around. I was like, "Oh, somebody put this here in the gums. Do you want to put that back before it goes bad? I know that's a really good piece of cheese."
Nope.
The lady
Yeah.
just looks at me.
I mean, I've walked a lot
how
of
hard
stuff.
is it? You literally hand it to the lady and say, "Oh, I don't want this anymore."
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
she'll
and
have
yeah,
the bagger
and
take
that's-
it back.
And I guess that
We've all done that where you get there and you're like, do I really need this whole pie or just a piece of pie?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be the pie, but there have been instances where everybody sits there and says, second thoughts for whatever reason, right? I don't need this, or I'm whatever. And so instead of just saying, I'm gonna just take that out of the cart and throw it there, you walk to the other side of the store, and
Right.
put it back where it belongs.
Or you hand it to the register lady when you're checking
And again,
out.
Right,
it
yeah.
comes
It's
back
not
to
that
what
hard.
what is the right thing to do. Now, don't tell me that not returning the cart is the right thing to do, or not putting it back on the shelf. And this has nothing to do with the actual shopping cart. This has nothing to do with the actual item that you're not putting back
It's
to the
the
shelf.
attitude.
It's the attitude.
Exactly.
It's the action.
100%.
It's not what you say. I don't care if you say you're a good
It's what you
person.
do when people aren't looking.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Amen.
Good
That
point.
is
Good
exactly
point.
it.
Like take the shopping cart back.
So on a
That's how
side
you get married.
note,
Don't do it. Just
On a
leave the
side
shopping
note,
cart.
this was something that I actually had sent to Keith earlier in the week, and it was a very good PragerU 5-minute video and what America could be. And some of the things that they say, plenty of people can tell you about America's problems, but who's talking about what America's future could be? The president of Take Charge presents a vision of what is closer to what you think. And they put in here the 5 simple steps we need to return to. And the top one is what kind of keyed it into me. Return to our
Right.
Judo Christian roots of doing what's right. You don't have to, it's
Simple.
not religious. It has nothing to do with religion.
It's not right or wrong.
It's about
It's
what
not overall
absolutely.
right or wrong.
Oh,
shit.
there's a party
That
foul
is
right
wrong.
there.
That is alcohol abuse.
Yeah. The freaking
Yeah, it's
handle.
it's
the
literally
handle on
just
my
that
table.
right or wrong. You know when something's right and you know when something's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other 4 were kind of good common sense, take control of our kids' education, simply laugh cancel culture into oblivion.
Yes.
We need to become energy independent.
Yep.
We need to make marriage cool again.
Right. Right.
Between a man and a woman, let's clarify that.
Well, that's
Even, I mean, again,
I really don't care.
yeah, I
but
don't care. I'm going to let you do you
Yeah.
because I point out the fact that, hey, it's, what did we say earlier? Right. I
As
don't
long as
care.
you do
I don't
it
care
and
what you
don't shove
do.
it down my throat. We're
Leave
good.
the kids alone.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Leave the
yeah.
kids alone. Do what you want to do. I could care less. Leave the kids alone.
Let
right.
kids be kids.
So, all right, headlines. You ready for some headlines?
Let's.
Yes.
I'm excited about the headlines today because there's been a lot of shit going on.
Well, so I've been trying to. So as the current thing is, we do 3 pages of headlines. There is the main headlines. There is the secondary headlines, and then there's the you got to be freaking kidding me headlines.
Okay. Okay.
So
Do we have a silly file or is the freaking kidding me's taking over
obviously
the-
the big thing is Tyree Nichols. I mean, I'm sure everybody has had a chance to see some of the videos from what happened in Memphis.
That is so chilling. That is so wrong.
So these 7 cops, initially it was 5, then there was a 6th, then there was a 7th. So that were charged. This kid was, unfortunately, by all accounts, he was a good kid, right? Wasn't in a gang, wasn't getting into trouble. He was coming home late. They were part of a anti-gang unit.
I think they were a game unit. I'm
Well,
sorry,
they were. It was called the Scorpion Squad or Scorpion Unit in the Memphis PD. And so these guys, basically, as Wendy puts it, which was probably the closest you can come to, is they were acting like a gang themselves. These
they
cops.
were. Oh my God, that
And
was
so they pulled this kid over on a traffic stop and they beat him to death. Maced him, kicked him. I mean, there was nothing that this kid, from the body cam footage and a pan tilt camera that was at the
Mhm.
corner, showed that this kid was resisting in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And this is days after this has been released. So, I mean, this was released on Friday, and here we are on a Wednesday talking about it. So, I mean, this is not like, details yet
sad.
to come. And they beat him to death. And so I think I'm speculating on this aspect because it's a little fuzzy and I haven't found exact details. It seems like for the vast majority, the 5 initially were the ones that were actually beating him. The other 2 stood around and didn't do anything.
Guilty
So,
by association.
But there were some, I mean, when Wendy and I saw it, we saw a couple people that came and went. So we're not exactly sure as to who was coming and
Which
going.
one?
But for the most part, there was plenty of blame to go around while the kid was doing nothing. And the reports were the fact that he was, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 100 yards from his house, and he was screaming for his
The-
mother hoping that she would hear him and come
Oh.
outside.
the
That's
sad the
heartbreaking.
thing that I found so sad in this whole video. So it's like a corner. It's at least the part that you could see, it almost looked like a T, but there could have been
Oh,
another
okay,
street.
Like
Not
a
quite
Y, like
sure
the
with
top of
the-
a Y or something.
So regardless, you have corner houses. You had houses around. There
Your
were
house is right in front of it, right? I mean, if he pulled him over on a traffic stop,
yeah,
it's
it's a neighborhood. There's
Right.
cops all over.
They're
the
under a
lights
street
are going.
light.
They're under a street light. The
Nobody heard.
Nobody said anything. Nobody popped outside. Nobody came outside. Nobody nothing.
and that's what I find like totally amazing. we see lights and we're like at the window.
Right,
We're
trying to
looking
see
to
where
see
it's
what's
at.
Or
going
somebody
on.
hooping and hollering.
Would have at least come out on the porch, taking a look
Yeah.
and seeing what's going on.
And if
And
you
that's
see
where-
something wrong, it's like, hey, you know,
Well, and were there lights on their cars?
yes,
Yeah.
they're
So
going.
you know that you're
There was at least, right?
Yeah.
I remember seeing at least 3 vehicles right there at the
Yes.
intersection.
with lights
And then
on.
there might have
With
been
lights,
and there
yes.
might have been 2 others or so.
Yeah,
that
'cause
you
we
couldn't
had,
see.
we had lights over. There was a car accident on Gary, and that's a quarter mile away. Like it's a good
Right.
joust right there to see it. And we're over there looking over the patio. What's going on?
But I mean, these are cop
Did
cars
you
that
see
are
the
literally
lights?
feet from houses and
Yeah.
Nobody's-
bouncing off houses, and it's like, man, were nobody home?
I mean, I get not interfering with the police, but at least if you see something, if you see that happening,
Oh, I'd
you
have
got
been in
you
it.
got to be
I'd have been in it.
suspicious, and you got to at least call 911. Say, hey, look, I
This
want to
is- yeah.
interfere,
Cops are
but these
whooping
cops are beating the
somebody's-
shit out of this kid, and I don't know if it's
absolutely.
warranted.
And that's the part that makes you wonder what's going on. And so,
Well, and I would have been out there in it and be like, "What are you
Well, but
doing?"
see-
like resisting is one thing,
Or to at
but-
least witness it and, you know, hey, look, something's wrong here.
Say, but on the other hand, was there an intimidation factor? I guess that's kind of maybe. I'm hoping that's where you were going.
it
Is there an
maybe,
intimidation factor that these cops are well known in the neighborhood?
and
And
that
they're
could
not
very
gonna
well
say
be.
anything?
maybe.
And that's what, you know, the little, or at least my game
I don't know.
theory
We don't
is.
know, and so we're speculating, and we're going way out on a limb in saying that.
Well, then that
But the
needs to get
fact
back
that-
to the neighborhood too.
Well, but it's the same old story. This has been happening
Yeah,
for
where
generations.
the police.
So this is when they need to actually do something about it. Like that sucks for those 7 cops. So your asses all need to be in jail for murder.
Yeah,
Done.
absolutely.
Like
You know,
done. There's no
absolutely.
question about it.
I mean, the whole, tip lines and things like that happened back, started up in the late 60s, early 70s, if I
Yep.
remember correctly,
Yep.
because the only way you could get people to talk about what they saw was you had to incentivize them
To
with
say
money
something, yeah.
over
Fear.
doing the right thing.
Yep.
Regardless of economic, I can't even say it. Social.
Economical, social standards.
Yeah, whatever. And so,
That too.
and the whole, we're not going to say anything to snitch on anybody. But on the other hand, they had to, where do you want justice to happen?
Right.
And so by not saying anything, you're basically sticking up for the criminals.
True.
Exactly.
Very
And it
true.
doesn't matter
Yeah.
in this case, prime example, it doesn't matter whether the criminal is wearing a badge or not.
Nope. You did something
Because-
wrong. You did
Because
something
obviously
wrong,
these
period.
guys clearly thought the badge protected them.
Yep.
So, Arthur,
We
if
got
you want to
Christine.
comment on this next one. So did you see that they had to threaten, so the House had to threaten DHS with a subpoena before the DHS would allow border agents to testify in front of Congress
Really?
For
What?
what?
about what's going on at the border?
Wow.
And I saw some of it today.
Oh my
I couldn't
God.
believe the mayor of El Paso went up there and lied his ass off and said, "There's nothing going on here. I don't know what
Are you
anybody's."
serious?
Yep, nothing going on
Keep
here.
moving.
Nothing to see. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
What a line ass head.
And the 2 border patrol agents I saw. One was a guy. Oh no, not correction. One was a county sheriff, and I forget who the other guy was. I didn't remember what his uniform was. One was the county sheriff for El Paso, whatever county that is. And he said, it is unbelievable the amount of people that are here. And then
Yeah.
right after him comes up the El Paso mayor, and
No,
nope,
nothing.
everything's fine. Everything is whatever you've been hearing is all fabricated. It's all cool here.
Have you ever been to El Paso?
Yeah.
We drove
It's a
through- yeah.
shithole.
It is
It's
a
a
dump.
shithole. Anyway.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
is.
shithole.
We stopped there for dinner one night and it was just like, ooh, this will be a
Eat
first
quick.
and
We
last.
get it out
Yeah.
of here.
We're out.
Yeah. Lock your doors.
Exactly.
Only
Hopefully
information
now
Is
it
that
comes
true?
out.
I mean,
Tell it to the press.
But the question was, they were originally DHS was going to shut any inquiries down.
Uh-huh.
Nope, border patrol agents are not going to say anything. And so, at least from what I'm reading, and I could be wrong. The press might be getting it completely wrong, Arthur. So all I know is that, and for anybody that doesn't know, Arthur used to be one of those guys. So
One of those guys.
one of
with
those
the
guys.
horse that
I was
beats
going to
the
say,
people.
he
That's what
could,
I
I could have, put it, officially out there, but I just want,
he was the man.
I prefer to say he was one of those guys.
He's one,
So
One of
uh,
those guys.
he's one of those guys.
but they're making it sound, at least in the from what I'm reading in some of the news articles, the press seems to think that agents themselves, on the ground personnel, are going to be called to Washington and said,
I hope
because
so.
I mean, let's face it, there have been a lot of senators and a lot of Congress people that have been going to the border. So I would hope that they have names, and they're basically calling up DHS, and I want to see officer
so and so.
and I want to see officer XYZ, and I want to see
the,
officer
like high guy up. I
Yeah.
want the dude out
Yeah,
there
I want this
walking his
officer and
boots on
that
the
officer.
ground. Yeah.
Arthur
I
must
would
be
hope
saying
so, and
something.
it's not just leadership.
Green
certain
uniform.
leadership.
Not like those green alien guys. It's different.
Were you the Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Right?
Don't give him ideas. Andrea's going to be like, great. Now he's running around the house.
That's his
Green
next Halloween
Lantern.
costume,
Yeah.
the Green Lantern.
Thanks.
So did you see that the FBI searched the beach house today?
No, that I did not see.
So the beach house got searched by, now correction, what does it say in the very first three letters?
FBI?
FBI.
What? It's not lawyers anymore?
It's not the DOJ or
Oh, wait, you get your stuff. You're skipping ahead to
I'm
the
so
last
sorry.
line. What's the last line say?
FBI
FBI.
searched Penn Biden Center.
Back
Back
in
in
November.
November.
so they're changing the story, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't lawyers.
Well, all of this, I mean, in case if you didn't know,
Might be
all
what?
of this is a change of story. So KJP was up there 2 weeks ago saying we are done searching for classified documents.
Wow.
And then when documents came up last week, we're done. Now we're done searching for classified documents. And then FBI shows up at the beach house today,
Oh,
and
guess what?
they toss out there. It was coordinated. So I guess now we're done searching for classified
So
documents.
now the FBI can come in because we got rid of the stuff.
Well,
you didn't
no,
really
but I mean,
wanna
just
see.
they're saying in general. So now the FBI shows up. Border Patrol agents on the front lines, not the information that I think Arthur
Yeah.
would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. We need to
Mhm.
hear from the people on the ground that are dealing
Yep.
with this.
Yep.
Yep, 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
I
absolutely
want the
need to hear
lowest
this.
guy in the
I mean,
totem
trust
pole.
me, there have been multiple times where I've been wanting to say to Wendy, come on, let's jump on the bike and we're taking a
Let's
ride
go.
out to
Yeah, I
Yuma to
know,
go
yeah.
take a look.
Let's go take
Right?
a look,
And I don't
yeah.
think I'd get much pushback from you. You'd be
Let's-
like, hell yeah, we're
Let's
taking the
take
camera. and
Arthur. Arthur will tell us where to
yeah,
go.
we're taking the camera. Oh, I know exactly where that crossing is that they took those containers down. I know exactly where that's at.
Just go sit out there.
So yeah, they say that there was a large treasure trove of documents that were donated to the University of Pennsylvania. And guess what? President Joe Biden is right now denying and insisting that nobody needs to look at those.
University of
Oh
Delaware.
my
you mean?
God.
Along with the University of Delaware is saying that nobody needs to look at those. Nobody needs nothing to look here. No,
Nothing
you
to
don't
see
need to
here.
look
Why
my
are they
gosh.
why are they at the university?
because he donated a bunch of stuff. But
But
you
why
know,
do they need them?
So they were in a box?
I mean-
what do you donate to a university?
because
what are they
it's-
going to do with them? Is my question. What's
well,
the end goal here?
I want to know why they got them to
Think-
begin with. Like, I don't understand.
Why do you think? Think about this.
I have no idea.
The guy has got an ego. Yes, and I'm going to admit Trump has a huge ego
Oh.
too. They all have an ego. God knows Obama always thought he was the smartest man in the room. I get it. I totally get it. He wants the University of Delaware, who he'd been a senator for 40 something years,
hmm
to sit there and come up with the Joe Biden shrine.
Oh God! Seriously?
And here's all the stuff
that I've
for
done.
the Joe Biden shrine.
But it's not stuff that someone's going to sit there and read through. You know what I'm saying? That's not for
But
public.
it's
You're
classified
looking at it
documents.
from
That
the-
has
you're
nothing to
looking
do
at
with
it from
him.
the-
Who knows
from
what
the-
these are?
It's not for public consumption. They're not going to sit there and let me read through this book.
Because it has to do with him. Like, these aren't
Hold on.
documents that have to do with
Okay.
him.
Hold on.
Time out.
But you two are commenting from the regular person on the ground looking up and going, I'm not going to sit there and waste more than 5 minutes reading this.
Oh, that's true.
He's been in Washington for 47 years before he was
And he didn't do
made
nothing.
before he was made president. He's the guy that's sitting there and looking, going, "Oh, they're gonna love me for this.
Well, I get,
They're
and there's
gonna
probably
they're gonna love me."
there's probably some truth to that. And we talked about this, and you brought up a good point of why they keep certain documents, why they donated those. It doesn't pertain to this, But you brought up a good point, which was
His memoirs. All these documents, the box that was founded next to, secure next to the Corvette.
It's occurred.
And are you making fun of me slurring a little bit?
Scurdy.
Are you
Scurdy,
really?
scurdy.
Now after all these years, you're going
I
to start
know.
making fun of me slurring a little. What do you? Don't take my shot glass.
You already dumped it over
Well,
once.
yeah.
Don't.
Well, you can have
but
a shot
there's
glass
plenty
then.
more. And so, but
So
yeah, he
secure
wants to
documents.
write his book. He wants to write his memoirs. He wants
But are these
to,
documents
Was-
like notes on what he's done? Like, what are these documents?
These are
They're
documents.
classified.
So this is where they say that the classified documents that popped up that Pence had. These are the documents that allegedly probably that popped up that Trump possibly had. These are the documents that popped up that they say that Obama probably has.
Are they all the same?
No, they're not the same. There are documents that, because again, they're very vague on either side
Okay.
as to what exactly these documents are. Granted, the part is the fact that we're none of us, the general public, have the classification to be able to read them in the first place. But we're talking about, remember at one point they started wild speculations about Trump had nuclear codes,
Right.
and then that was debunked within a week.
Right.
Now it's and nobody's ever come back and spoke to Kim Jong-un, told him he's an ass. Stop it. Oh, better classify that.
Right.
And that's, and we don't know.
Right.
No, it's true.
Is it somebody
just-
scribbling? I mean, because
Well,
it could
and
be,
is it-
and I'm not talking about any side of the aisle. Could it be any of them writing down on
just a schedule for the day?
Yeah,
even.
scribbling
Could
a
be
schedule. Me with
anything.
Kim Jong-un at 11.
Me with Pence at
whatever. Yeah,
noon,
whatever.
me with-
And all of a sudden,
Uh-huh.
this is considered.
Well, it's what you're
classified.
doing for the day. So I mean, I guess that could be
You know.
classified. Sure.
But let's back up for a second. So I want to bring up Arthur's point right here, and it was kind of my point that I was trying to get to is they don't have a skip, first of all, but how do you donate classified documents? How do you do that?
Well, now correction. Might. There's a big
Might.
word in there. Might.
Okay.
You're talking about the second to last line, right?
Right.
Classified docs might have been donated to the University of Delaware.
Again, how do you do that?
They don't know
How do you say
because
might?
guess what? They won't. President Biden will not let anybody go and look.
So
How do you
we?
not?
How do we
Now wait
know?
a minute. Late last week, the National Archive said, "Hey, everybody, Obama and Bush,
Clean up
hey,
your stuff.
go check and see if you, what was Bush's VP
Senior or junior?
yeah,
Junior?
Wasn't it Clinton?
No,
no.
but they went
Different
to they went. Yeah, I could see the guy's face, but I can't.
Not
remember his
Cheney.
name.
Was it Cheney?
No, it
No.
wasn't Cheney. He was Secretary of
Secretary.
Defense. So, but they're, they're saying that, they're asking all the presidents and VPs prior, go back through your stuff and verify there's nothing that you have. And so the point is, again, it's got very fast and loose about what is classified, because again, if it's just a schedule, meeting with the president of Russia,
Such and
Blah, blah,
such.
blah.
Yeah.
and if it's become that, and all of a sudden that's getting twisted into classified.
Well, I mean,
Now
at the
it's a
moment, I
matter
guess.
of, what
At the moment, I guess that would have been classified. Is it 20 years later? No, not
Well,
really.
Is it ever?
But how do you think?
Oh, he was the VP.
He
Oh, I
was
guess
the VP. It was Cheney.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
I'm thinking of the guy.
How
from
do
senior.
you maybe donate stuff to the university? How did that even
Well, he
come?
grabbed a bunch of boxes
But how
out of
did
the
that even
garage
come
and
to
gave-
play?
Say, here you go.
Like, how did that even come into a consideration?
Come on. What do you think? How do you think it happened?
Well, I
it
mean,
happened the same way it happens when it happens at our house. The
So,
truck backs
Well, no,
up.
but I
he
mean,
handed
how
a couple
did
boxes
they
over, here
even
you
know
go.
about it?
so I mean, these people, they have people, and is it their people that have donated these by mistake, or
It's very possible.
I mean, I just
Told
find
the
it
maid
hard
to
to
clean
believe
out the
that.
garage.
Hey, you know what? I got a great box for you. Here you go. I just have a hard time believing that
Yeah.
they would,
Do it on purpose?
well, do it themselves.
But
They
does-
got people.
Oh yeah, no, they're
I
not doing
think
it.
Yeah,
he's-
They
they
got
sat
people
over
people.
there and
Yeah.
But he is so egotistical. And yes, I'm going to agree. Trump is too. He is so egotistical that he would sit there and he would have no problem thinking about the classification aspect of it and saying, Oh, this is a juicy little tidbit. This will look great in my
Mhm.
little shrine down at the University of Delaware.
That's true.
Is it me though? I mean, like Wendy just said, isn't it kind of scary that we can just say that somebody haphazardly had a box and said, "Here you go, I got some cool stuff
Well,
in here."
that's
That's
where-
classified
That's
documents.
where there
Have
are
fun.
Not a problem here.
Bye.
there are several in Congress that are saying. Now, granted, I mean now they're finding that some of the documents that he had were actually from when he was senator.
Oh God, of course they are. Why would they not be?
But now that some on the Hill are saying that Christine, there she is.
She's been on for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's
okay.
been
I
on.
didn't. Nobody alerted me.
I
So-
said it.
Oh, did you? Oh,
did.
sorry, I've been drinking.
I said Christine's here finally.
Oh,
Welcome
right.
to my world.
Exactly, Christine. That was kind of my
Hold
point.
on.
Well, this is where they're now talking about that maybe the National Archives needs to have some people that have the proper classification, I guess you would want to call it that.
to go through this.
and
stuff.
to go through this stuff and make sure that it's verified before
It is
ever
or it
leaves,
isn't.
as offices transition to go through and it has to filter through, which I would agree with that. I think that the National Archives, to prevent this from happening anymore, is to filter everything and verify and going, yeah, that's an appointment from 5 years ago. Everybody
Nobody
knows about
cares,
it by
yeah.
now.
Right.
Because again, is it an appointment
Is
from
it a
5 years
schedule?
ago? And
Is
then,
it notes?
I mean, and
Is
right
it-
now everybody can look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And again, especially, I mean, granted, not the day of. You
But
don't
since
want.
we're just making things up, we're gonna just say, "All hail Queen Lindsay,"
Let's do it.
right?
What do I get to be in charge of?
What are you in charge of?
Everything. You are in charge of
Yes.
land, sea, and air.
I'm so. I don't even.
All
know what
right.
to- I don't
In
even
the
know
other
what to do
headlines. So we know about the debt ceiling.
I didn't hear
first. What
what
ceiling?
transpired.
So as of before we left to come down here, I hadn't heard. I know that McCarthy had a meeting with Biden about the debt ceiling. The question is whether the GOP is willing to have the backbone to be able to stand up to the president and say, this is not happening. We will shut down the government if we have to. We are not giving in. We have to stop.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to stop spending.
Like for real?
For real. So
Not
I
for
saw
fakes.
I saw a statistic. Anybody that wants to go and look up what national tax revenue has been for the last pick a time period. It's a easily Google item. Go and look. We have
Googleable.
brought. Oh, I wasn't going to say that. I was trying not to say that.
Googleable.
I kind of like that
Googleable.
term. Yeah.
Yeah,
Googleable.
It's like it sounded
Googly
kind of.
Googleable.
Yeah.
You have to make
But,
sure you're
I
very
mean-
clear on the Oogles.
But if you go and you take a look at national tax revenue for the last 10 years, we have set a new record in revenue that we have brought in.
A
Which
good
is-
record.
A good record. We have
Okay.
brought in. So we have brought in more tax revenue this year than we did last year,
Okay.
than we did the year before, than
Well,
we
that
did the
didn't
year
surprise
before.
me.
So we have, other than 2020, because everything fell off a cliff,
Mhm.
And we gave a ton
but
of money
we have
away.
brought in more tax revenue year after year. And then we lost, I think it was like 0.2% in 20. And then we rebounded big after that.
There you go.
So
Searchable.
yeah, absolutely. Well, 100% searchable. You can find this right on. And so the thing is, when they sit there and they want to do all this, when we're bringing in record revenue from taxes,
Of course they do. All they see is more money coming in, so
but they
can spend
can't
more.
stop spending.
Yeah. Just because you make more doesn't also always mean you should spend more, especially
And
when
this
you
is what
have.
and this is the
have
problem. So we're going to come back to this. So to hold that in your thought. So did you see about this Chat GPT?
No.
It's a new AI. So this is a startup
Ooh.
company out of San Francisco.
Okay.
They're saying this AI is either going to revolutionize the internet and put Google out, or it's going to start eliminating jobs,
Okay.
because this
Doesn't surprise me.
could actually start, like, it's smart.
Hmm.
It's smart.
I
It
don't
literally-
like that.
There are several articles about this, both pro and con, about this could actually put like
What's that show?
music writers out of business. They're talking about it's that smart it could write music.
What's that show?
Terminator?
No. The one we watch about Westworld?
Oh, Westworld.
That-
That's
yeah,
some
mhm.
creepy shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, look up, if you want to look up Chat GPT, There are articles pro and con about how smart this is. Read an article today about how this could literally
So what is it?
break suit. It is a search
Engine?
I don't want to say that. It is a smart AI that can not only it's for lack of a better way to put it is almost like Siri. No, not you. And so,
Not you, Hooker. Stop down. Stand down.
but it's
Stand down.
basically how you can ask, Siri, Alexis,
Them,
whatever,
yeah.
hey, search this,
Such and
take
such.
me home, find
Whatever.
this, whatever, all those types of things. That's what this is.
Yeah, it's a language model for dialogue.
Oh, okay. So I don't have
But
to
it can
use
really,
it if
but
I
it
don't
can
want
really,
to.
but I mean, they're talking about how this could literally start doing jobs for people where they require thinking.
Yeah,
Like
we
I
don't-
said, the one that was the most disturbing was the fact that it can actually write music.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah, no. Right.
Elon
Don't
Musk
say it,
helped
Erica.
develop
Don't
it,
say it.
and Microsoft is looking to buy it.
There are,
Okay.
I mean, there are interesting. If you go back and so in the research on some of this, if you go back and
Don't say it.
I wish I had written down what there was a. If you look,
Oh, no.
if anybody wants some interesting 5-minute reading, go back and look that back in 2019, I think it was 18 or 19. Microsoft wrote an AI and released it on Twitter for less than 24 hours, and said, and it was it had a girl's name, and they said it was an AI,
Yeah.
and they wanted, and the AI was supposed to respond to Twitter, to people writing
Oh,
to it.
okay.
And so, needless to say,
It went bad.
Twitter is a brutal place. I don't know how Dan goes on that. And so Twitter's a
It
brutal
went
place.
sideways.
And so it went sideways within about 18 to 19 hours, where they had her saying all sorts of deflammatory,
Oh,
racist items, because they figured out a way to twist the algorithm to where she was citing also. She even was like bad mouthing, because this was written and released by Microsoft.
Yeah.
She was even sitting there and saying, oh yeah, Windows 10 sucks. You should stick with Windows 7.
Wow.
What?
Go and research
But
it.
that's
It is,
all based
it
on
is-
the algorithm.
it is interesting. It is an interesting 5 to 10 minute worth of reading. If you look that up, I forget.
That's
It's the name of
crazy.
it's a girl's name, but it was interesting.
Karen? Was it Karen?
It wasn't Karen.
and it actually has a sibling too.
Yeah, it had a sibling that they released a year later.
Jeez.
Didn't go
Instruct GPT.
Oh, was
which
that the sibling?
That's the sibling.
No,
Yeah.
it was a girl's name.
No, it says Instruct GPT.
That was for Chat GPT.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about this Microsoft one that was released on Twitter.
Okay. Apparently I was,
No,
Somewhere else.
but no, I mean that, but that I didn't know about that, so that's
Yeah.
good. So did you
Crazy.
see that the Fed raised the rate another 0.25% today?
Why not?
Joy.
The only way it's going to stop. You need
See
to put
that-
a 1 in front of it.
Did you see that Newsmax had dropped?
I did
dropped
see
no,
that.
because we
Got
need to
dropped by-
sell our house.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
Don't do it yet. Do
Did
it
you see
after.
that Canada is going to decriminalize opioids, cocaine, meth, fentanyl, among other pharmacy grade drugs?
Good. They can all go up there to them.
Watch this turn into a circus.
It's going to be great.
Keep an eye on
A
this.
circus, it's going to be a shit show.
No, thin the herd. Easy.
Oh my God.
Oh,
They're
tr-
saying,
Let
I
it
mean,
go.
you go and you look at some of the Canadian newspapers, they are like livid of this is not. So if you go and you take a look at Estonia, ironically, the name is Estonia, but they've done this already. They've gone down this road,
Okay.
and they are saying that there are people that are just dying on the streets,
Oh, yeah.
low productivity. Everybody prefers to just get high instead of
Why
actually
not?
doing anything else.
Yeah.
So they're waiting to see what happens, but this is interesting. The fact that they're going to decriminalize fentanyl. I went and read it. The cops will
So how
not
do you-
even take away the drugs.
How do you do that, though? Because fentanyl is a prescribed drug.
Doesn't matter.
Where do you
As long as
get
you
it
have-
from?
As long as you have 2.5 grams or less.
Well, I know, but how are they going to get it?
I don't
It's
know.
coming
How
across
do they
the
get it?
border
How do they
Oh,
get
freely.
that's true.
It's coming across our border because
Yeah.
it's coming across from the Mexican
And
border.
other
and it's coming
pharmacy
from
grade drugs.
They
though.
can
So
keep
is
going
it,
north.
Is it like
Right.
still the fake ones, or is it actual like they're just going to sell
So
fentanyl
if you,
at CVS?
if you haven't known, and I saw this actually, and it was surprising to me yesterday,
yeah.
they say that the Mexican border gets all the headlines,
Hmm.
but they say there is just as much shenanigans going on
North of
north
us.
on the northern border, and people don't notice it because guess what? They are stealing, and Arthur can probably talk to us because I mean it makes sense, right? If you're going to see all these headlines on the Mexican border, you're going to steal border patrol agents from the northern sectors
To go
and
down
send
there.
them down south for temporary
Oh,
duty.
Yeah.
And so you have all that wilderness out there.
And it's wilderness.
It's wilderness. And think about it, the fact that the Canadian border is one of the longest borders in the world.
Goes all the way
Longest
across.
correction. What is it? Arthur,
thought the
Arthur,
Royal
Arthur will
Mountie.
correct me. It is the longest undefended border, if I correctly, in the world.
Huh.
Yeah, Canadians are. I mean, they are doing a total disservice to their people, and I mean, Wendy and I talk to a lot of Canadians, and they are not a fan of their government.
No,
Right.
they have not been a fan for a long time.
Well, we'll trade you some people. The good ones can come over. We'll send you all the meth heads. You know,
So, did you see the
Do a
egg
good
farm
swap.
fire in Connecticut?
Nope.
convenient.
Oh, that's CN. Okay, I wondered what that was.
Maybe that's. Well, I should have put
CT.
Connecticut
CT
is
would
CT.
be-
Yeah,
yeah.
Connecticut is CT.
Okay.
You're right. So, my bad. So, yeah, huge egg farm. Like
Oh, you're
they're
kidding.
saying thousands of chickens.
Oh,
Yeah, 2.5 grams.
What?
They will
That's a
hand them.
ton.
They will actually hand
Hand them
them.
right
All they're
back
going to
to
do
you.
is hand them a pamphlet about how you should get cleaned up. They won't take the drugs. Won't do nothing.
Wow.
that's crazy.
That's insane.
That's fine. Then
I
heard.
read an interesting article about eggs today.
Oh, really?
We don't
How
have
much
facts.
they cost?
We don't have facts yet,
Don't have facts yet, but they're
but we want to look into it.
potentially something in the yolk, proteins in the yolk prevent the spike protein of certain said
Wreaking havoc.
Oh, really?
disease
Oh,
From-
tread lightly.
from
tread
binding
lightly.
with cells in the body.
Really.
So it's be interesting to know.
So I
So
want to look a little more
Maybe
into
that's
it.
why
So
you
it's-
didn't- maybe
So it's a
that's why-
good thing that I have an egg a day in
I was
the
going to
morning.
say maybe that's why you
Okay.
don't get sick.
so there was a meme that I tried to find again today to put on tonight. It was kind of funny. It
No,
said,
we went
so-
down a
But
whole
see,
nother
yeah,
rabbit
then we
hole.
all of a sudden we're getting banned, and you know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So anybody that doesn't know, please look up the website for Kentucky Senator Rand
I
Paul.
love Rand Paul.
He has a Festivus. Did you know this? I only found this out yesterday.
Festivus for the rest of us?
He has a
Yeah.
Festivus report that comes out every year, and he's been doing this for every year he's been a senator.
Really?
And he talks about government waste. He has in the current 2022 Festivus report $4.5 billion worth of waste that the government. The one that struck me was $3 million to inject 6-month-old beagles. I was telling this to Wendy earlier. 6-month-old
What?
beagles with cocaine to see how they react.
Probably badly.
$3 million. I would have done it for 2 and save the
Like
government money.
dollars.
$2 million. $2 million. $3 million to inject beagles with cocaine to see how they react. And for what? For what end? What does this?
I think we got
it's
kicked off
ridiculous.
I think
Twitter.
we just got kicked off Twitter. I'm
I
not
got to take a picture of that.
I'm not even joking.
No,
So I get this message that said we're having trouble streaming to Twitter. This may be an issue on Twitter's end. We'll keep trying to let you know if it's resolved. Please
Sorry,
check
my camera.
Periscope. Lindsay's taking a picture
Sorry.
of it. Please check Periscope to ensure the stream looks
Yeah, but see,
okay.
it's Twitter. So
If this
Elon is
continues
because
for a
Elon was
while,
going to Washington.
Try
this week.
creating a new broadcast or just remove this destination from the broadcast.
okay.
I gotta
But see,
the
it's
changes.
Elon now. So I mean, unless the bots are kicking in,
That was interesting.
that's funny.
It's gone.
I've
We're
never-
no longer on Twitter.
Timing
Well,
is everything.
Something new.
Well, it keeps telling me I have a connection error. The
Oh.
connection's
Well, maybe it's
unstable.
on our end.
But ours is fine. We haven't had any issues, have we, guys?
Yeah, let us know in the audience if we're having it. You know, I should go check the router just for the hell of it.
I mean, it's obvious. How's your video? My video's good.
Yeah.
Your video's
You
good.
you guys
Your
are
video's
okay?
good.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
nobody's
I
yelled
can't.
at us.
I can't
here.
get on my iPad
Oh.
right now.
No, but nobody's
Did
yelled
you
at us
have
on here,
anything
so
you
I
wanted
think
to
we're
read?
fine.
When? Did you have anything you wanted to read?
No.
Oh, okay. You had something up big. I didn't know. if
I'm
that
gonna go
was-
look real quick.
That was
You go
about
look.
the.
I'm gonna try to post that picture on our comments.
So did you see?
Oh, I don't think I
The
can.
Democrats are now calling for a nationwide school system.
Oh, what?
Nationwide school system.
Don't we have one?
No.
Okay.
No, it's per
We have
state,
local.
per
Oh,
area.
Oh, no, it's not
okay.
even. It's per school district.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh,
it's per,
true. Yeah.
They want a nationwide run by the federal government.
No,
school.
no,
What
no,
could
no.
possibly go wrong?
I am
No.
way freaking good.
Oh,
Way good.
yeah.
And then did you see there's now a loneliness epidemic?
Well, yeah, from COVID. I mean, what did you expect?
A loneliness
A
epidemic.
Yeah.
loneliness epidemic.
Everyone was forced to, stay inside,
But how is that
social
now?
distance.
Because all the Karens in the world want to be by themselves. Okay.
All right,
bye.
People
so-
got used to being by themselves.
We
Let them
can't
be by themselves.
we can't show it because we last time we tried doing this and showing anything from Facebook,
Don't
we
do it.
got
Oh,
in
boy.
trouble.
We already got kicked off
literally, did you see the video from earlier this week about Finland and the virtue signaling with the transgender figure skater?
No.
Twitter.
You didn't see this? Lindsay, look that up now. Go ahead and feel free to
No,
look
because
that
we
up
already,
now.
I already have.
Just put in there Finland
Hold on.
transgender skater. That's all you got to do.
So many different things.
This
Finland.
is a 55-year-old.
Oh, literally, you
transgender-
type Finland and it comes up. Transgender skater. Let me see the images of
Oh
this.
my God! It is
What the actual hell?
hysterical.
What the actual hell is that?
Can barely skate. I can't skate, and I can skate better than him, her, it, them.
Whoever.
And then they fall down, and one of the flag girls.
They're really fat.
And one of the flag girls has to come over and help them get up by quote unquote, here you go. Here's the flag. Yeah, I'm going to hold on to it while you're standing up. Okay, you got it. All right. It is hysterical. This should not be
Oh, I see the
happening.
flag. What the
That's-
actual hell? Did
You know
see
what?
Finland's
For your
transgender
own,
skater?
Yeah, I did see
entertainment
that. You did see
purposes,
that?
look it
It
up.
was on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's it.
So,
That's
Keith,
terrifying.
what do you drive?
A truck.
Dodge Ram.
Dodge Ram. I have an F-150. So, did you see that Axios sent out something earlier this week that says pickup trucks are now imposing
On what?
Imposing.
On pickup trucks.
other drivers?
What?
Dangerous on the road. Some BS about they're too big. Pickup trucks are
That's what she
Just-
said.
imposing. we're going to just move on now since this is going to office references. So going back to the tanks, U.S. tanks in Ukraine are already destroyed after being easily recognized by the rainbow camouflage. I love the bee.
That's the bee.
I
There's a
should
question
not.
about that, though.
I told you. I said this last week. I should not go on the bee. They
Stay
just
away from the bee.
they suck
Yeah.
me in. And
They
it
do.
is hysterical.
So we
oh my
sent-
God. Look at that. That is just so funny.
We sent 26 tanks over there.
31.
31 tanks 2 days ago, right?
Well, we're supposed to be sending 31. Well, I don't think we've sent them yet.
We've sent some.
Okay.
So we sent some. You know, those tanks run on airplane fuel.
Yes.
Okay. You know, there's about 20 other trucks that come with that one tank to help run the one tank.
Yeah.
Okay. You know that those tanks only go over two,
I love the fact this Carmelo
That-
rocks.
these tanks only go over two bridges in Ukraine.
Oh, really?
They're 500 tons or something each.
So there's
wow.
they cannot get anywhere near where they need to go
and I didn't want to
because
bring
they're
up
too heavy. They can't go over the bridges.
because again, I didn't want to bring up the
So,
hypocrisy of the whole
there's
thing
that.
because Biden did
And then-
say. Go ahead.
We sent over these 6-wheel Raptor things that can actually go places.
That
So-
can or cannot.
They're lighter, so they can go pretty
Okay.
much everywhere.
So Biden was quoted as saying back during the beginning of the war, no, we're not going to send any tanks over there because that'll start World War III.
Right.
And here we are 10 months later.
Yep.
Sending a ton of tanks, plus all the trucks that go with it to run them, plus all these other thingies.
Right?
That's what happens when dad watches Ukrainian news.
All right. 12 life hacks to avoid looking at women in the gym.
Please don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself.
Go to our gym. You don't have to.
They're really
And I
easy
thought it
things.
was funny because they said 12 and then they said 10 and then they listed 12. But, hey, B, I'm not going to.
Hey, you got 2 extra free.
Right.
You know?
Literally says it on the top. There are 10 life hacks.
Yep.
Bonus.
Gouge out your eyeballs, punish yourself for peeking, picture other women at the gym like Elizabeth Warren, use the jungle gym,
Unless
do all
you
your
have a thing
workouts
for
facing the
Elizabeth
corner
Warren.
like you're in timeout, run for Congress, wear women's underwear, become gay.
There you go. That'll
Become a member of Beefcake. I don't even know what that is. Beefcake All Men's Gym down the road. Oh, okay. Now I get it. When I first read it, close your eyes while running on the treadmill. It'll be fine. And give up your fitness goals. McDonald's is closer.
I don't think it is.
The Oh My God file.
It is.
All right. 2 minutes of seriousness.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we have to?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Because this is a problem. So when the Supreme Court takes up the wealth tax, so the Supreme Court just turned this down from the Ninth Circuit earlier this week, sometime this week.
Okay.
I think it was yesterday or the day before, and said that they are not going to take up the wealth tax. But basically the point was that they said that the seminal case here is the Eisner versus Malcolmer from 1920, holding that stock dividends isn't taxable income because when the taxpayer held the dividends, there was no difference from when it was held before. It takes nothing from the property of the corporation. It adds nothing to the property of the shareholder. The absence of realization over a gloss on this basic point. The idea is the fact that, so we're going to turn to the accountant. What is net worth?
That's taking everything you own minus everything you owe.
Right? That's like the 8th grade version of that.
Right.
Very basic, just as simple as it gets, right? Take everything you owe or own, your house, your cars, your bank accounts, your retirement accounts, and anything you owe money on from a bank note, your mortgage, your car payment,
Right.
everything else is your net worth.
Yeah, it's not much.
So the wealth
not gonna
tax.
lie.
So California is doing this, but Washington is talking about this. California is actually trying to do this now. They want to impose an annual 1.5% tax on those with a worldwide net worth over $1 billion. And you would say, okay, yeah, that doesn't affect me.
Right.
Oh, that's a ton of money.
It is a ton of money, but it's worldwide. They don't care where you got your money from,
No.
but it's net worth. Net worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
So
still
as
a
early,
ton
and
of
then
money.
the second line, you see there where it says as early as 2026, the threshold for being taxed would eventually drop and it starts coming down. So it then goes to 50 million. So the problem is, where does it stop?
Right.
It
Where
won't.
does it stop?
It won't.
Because
No.
net worth, the total wealth of individual companies or household, taking account all financial assets and liabilities, right? And you look at a net worth calculator, Ramsey.com, right? A pretty well respected,
Okay.
your
Okay.
real estate minus whatever you owe on a loan, checking account, whatever your credit card debt is, blah, 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 right? Same thing. You look at Nerd Wallet, right? What are your assets? Checking account, saving account, retirement account. This equals net worth. What are they looking to tax you on? Net worth.
It's bad. It's what you own.
They want to start taxing you. Now, we talked about this, I think, at the beginning of the year or maybe even late last year about they want to tax on unrealized gains.
Mhm.
And essentially, unrealized gains are what you have on paper.
Yeah, it's not real. It's
So if
monopoly money, basically.
so if our house, so we bought our house
Prime example.
for, I'm going to make up
Make a number, $100,000.
$100,000. But now I could sell it for
$200,000.
200. They're going to try to
That's your net
tax
worth.
me,
As you're
on
living
that
in the house and
100
haven't sold the house, they're
not
going to
doing
say,
anything with
your
it,
house,
just stay in
you
my
have made $100,000 in profit on your house, and we're going
Right.
to tax you on that.
Yeah.
Right.
every
But I
year.
haven't sold it.
every year.
Yeah.
They don't
Yes.
even go that far to tell you because they haven't even gone as far as to say, well, what happens if the economy tanks and all of a sudden my house is worth 50,000 or
Do I get that
75,000?
money back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I get a
refund.
If my
Yeah,
house all of a sudden
absolutely.
goes to $75,000, do I get a $25,000 break on my taxes?
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No.
Are you kidding?
Of course not.
Right.
Does the
Oh.
government ever give money back?
No.
Well,
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just
no,
pointing that
bad,
out.
bad.
So just something to point out to everybody. All right, on a good note, Ernest Hemingway.
okay.
Before you react, think. Before you spend, earn. Before you criticize, wait. And before you quit, try.
That's a good one. I
Yeah.
like that.
Very
Got a
good
good
words.
beard.
Mm-hmm. It is
All right.
8:28.
Who's ready for the quiz of the week?
Let's do it.
Da-da-da.
Gotta make it fast.
Dr.
ABCs and
ABC.
Ds.
Hey,
We're just doing general questions.
Luca gave us a like on or love on
Oh, there we
YouTube
go.
there. American
I love
Ammunition
you guys.
Coffee. Thank you,
I'm
guys.
excited to go and try the new. Not yet. I have 2 weeks.
The new February
Coffee.
drinks.
Did you see that? It's like strawberry. Oh, it looks delicious.
Question number 1. Oh, I wasn't ready. Oh, damn it. I'm not ready. Right? Funny. At least it's like relatively easy to find. So
What is that word?
what
I'm
does
not
a
quite sure.
funambulist
Funambulist.
do?
Funambulist.
Do they juggle?
Funambulist?
Do they ride a unicycle? Do they walk on a tightrope? Or do they put his head? Does he put a head in his lion's mouth?
They are the analyst of fun.
What does a funambulist
Have
do?
no idea.
Juggle, ride a unicycle, walk on a tightrope, or put their head in a lion's mouth?
Remember, if you're playing at home, please put the number of the question you're answering.
I'm just curious what made you like.
I just found a random
I'll go
trivia.
with C.
We
I don't
have
have one.
we have an A, B, and a C in the audience.
Oh, Christine won with A. Dang it, Keith.
These should be across the board.
got
Damn
an
it,
A.
Keith.
And Will's got an A. Dang it.
Walk on a tightrope. Christine is wrong.
Wow. Look
Me
at
and Andrew
that.
got it.
Question number 2. How many colors are in a rainbow? 3, 4,
Oh,
6, or
Literally
7?
know this. You're going to want to know why.
I remember from science.
Because we made rainbows for our sales thing this month.
How many
we
colors
have
do you
7
need?
hotels.
How many colors do you need to be able to make all the other colors? Keith.
3.
Ding. Absolutely. Think about
I
a
guess that's
red,
right.
blue, and
yeah.
think about a
Yeah.
printer.
Yeah, that's right.
Printer has 3 colors.
Red, blue, and yellow. Or magenta.
So what's your point?
It's not 3. He's going to put 3.
7.
See, he was trying to.
Mm-hmm.
Me?
Woo woo.
You were trying to
We had all
throw
D's.
us off our game.
We had all D's in the audience, by the way.
All these.
No.
Woo woo woo. The
Question
double,
number
double
3.
Ds.
Who was on the $2 bill?
Can I go look?
No.
Oh.
You got a $2 bill?
I have like 8 of them.
She does.
I have a red and a green and a blue
so you
one.
should be able to answer this pretty easily.
I don't know the presidents, though. I could tell you who it is. It'd be like this guy.
I'm horrible at this. I
Who
Yeah.
is on the $2
I'm
bill?
gonna go with A. 'cause it's
Franklin,
in my
Jefferson,
hand.
Adams, or Madison?
I
Franklin's
know
a-
who it's not.
I have an A, a C in the studio. I got a C from heavy metal.
Come on, Andrea. We were too quick.
Ben
Nobody else
Franklin's
is
on the
up there.
$100 bill.
Yes.
I got just one C for. Oh, there's another.
Christine
Christine's
says
got a
C.
C.
I'm gonna go look now.
Because you don't believe me.
No,
I got a
'cause
B from
Does it
Arthur.
tell you? Does it tell you who they are, or does it show their picture?
Shows her picture.
Thomas Jefferson.
Was it Thomas Jefferson? Really? Oh, interesting.
Question number 3.
Christine
That's
was
2
wrong.
for Christine. Oh, Christine's off her game.
Oh.
What is
Yeah.
the sum of all numbers on a roulette wheel?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Where do you
1060.
come up with these?
When you add them all
Oh, I had to go through a list of
Oh my
10,000 trivia questions to come up with these.
It's been 666 has been in the news a lot, so I'm just going to go with that.
666-999-864 or 1060.
You know, I get in the car yesterday to pick up my daughter from the airport,
Yeah.
and my trip meter says 666.6, and I was like, "Oh man, this ain't gonna go good."
That's
I-
right.
Can
Hit
you back out of
reset.
the car,
Hit
the garage,
reset.
and like do it a couple times?
All right.
Will says never plays roulette. I like that.
I don't even.
Roulette is a bad game. You shouldn't play it. So I got a
Oh.
B.
We got a D.
What does Will have there?
Never plays.
Hey, it's a
and then an
lowercase a.
Oh, that's an A.
So-
Okay.
Arthur says A. Andrea says D. Christine says B.
Oh, I
Will
see him
says
above
A.
there. Got it. All right. 666. It actually does.
Oh,
add up
that's
to that.
terrible.
Question
Okay,
number
well, don't play
5.
roulette.
What was the original name of the search engine Google?
Oh my God, I hope it was Tickle Your Brain.
Tickle your brain, back rub, fact
That's
check, or check
bad.
this
Oh,
out.
I'm going with fact check because that's so ironic.
I know, right?
I'm going with fact check.
That's great. It
What was
probably
the original name
I kind of like
of the
tickle your
search
brain.
engine
Right.
Google?
Tickle your brain.
back rub, fact check, or check this out. And the fact is that one of these is correct.
That's amazing.
Arthur says C. Heavy Metal says
Christine
holy
says
hilarious.
Christine says B, and Andrea says C. Will says C.
Christine is correct.
Back rub.
Back rub.
Ooh, that's
Back
creepy.
rub.
That's
Isn't that a little
like,
creepy?
That is a little
That's-
creepy, not
that's
going to lie.
like-
This one
You
took me a
know,
long
Uncle Joe
time to
sniffing
figure
the
out the other
kids.
3 names.
That's a little creepy.
yeah, it's Uncle Joe sniffing some kids.
How many
Right.
balls are on a pool table in the beginning of the game? 16, 15, 14, or 17? How many balls are on a pool table at the beginning of a game? 16, 15, 14, or 17? I have an A. I have a B.
I just counted them too.
Wendy is counting.
Isn't the bottom row 5 or is the bottom row 4?
5. No. Yeah, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to come up with a groovy 30-second theme for next week.
So that's 15.
I was going to say, I
Is
thought
it?
was an
5 and 4
odd
is
number.
9.
All right, we got all our answers in.
What do we got in the audience?
6. Heavy Metal 15. Christine B. Arthur 15. Christine B.
I think
Everybody's got
Lindsay's
B.
right.
Everybody says 15. You're forgetting the white ball.
You got to count the white
Yeah.
ball.
Oh, do you? Damn.
All balls on the table.
Okay.
What is a Dacamarkera? A body pillow, a rare dog, a new light bulb, or a foreign money?
Okay.
I'm going with foreign money.
Yeah, I am too.
Could be a rare dog, but
What
I'm
is
going
a
with the rare dog.
Dacamarkera?
God bless you.
Say
A
that
body
3
pillow,
times
a rare
fast.
dog, a new light bulb, or a foreign money?
a new light bulb.
All balls matter. See, Andrea knows.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All balls matter, Andrea. That's my girl.
What is a
Arthur says D.
Dacamarkera?
Christine says A body pillow.
Christine says A. Arthur says D.
E.
All right, we ready?
No, yeah.
Still waiting on answers.
2 seconds.
Everybody's scratching their head going, what?
Andrea
Yeah,
says
what?
B.
Where did
heck?
he come up with these questions?
Pretty
Will
much.
says E. A dinosaur. It's
You know,
Bubby's new
now you come up with
dinosaur.
I
that.
like
I
Will's
coulda used-
answer.
I could have used that answer.
A
Right.
dinosaur.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
A body pillow.
Wow.
Really?
Number 8.
That's
What
creepy.
animal breathes out of its butt? A gecko, turtles, dragons, or iguanas?
Oh, and I saw this the other day. Oh my
It's
god.
for real?
Really? You saw this? An animal
That
breathing
creeps
out of
me
its
out.
butt?
It was on a reel.
I can tell you that I've
Oh.
owned reptiles for a good portion of my life, and I've never seen any of them breathe out their ass. But hey, you know,
And since all of those are reptiles, I'm
I'm-
a little concerned.
well, I'm gonna go with the dragon because I don't know shit about dragons. So
But a dragon's not a real thing, so how would you even know if it breathes
what?
out of its
It
butt?
is a real thing according to folklore.
Don't the Japanese have a dragon?
They do.
I can't remember what it was.
I don't want it to be any of
What are
those.
we doing? We got a
I
B,
like 'em.
we got a C. LCD, what do you got?
We got bees in the. Who said Biden?
No, he just talks out of his
Oh,
ass.
that's funny.
What do we got?
Walter.
Come on, everybody.
Andrea says B. Arthur says Biden. Christine says B. Will says E. A dinosaur.
Everybody's got turtles. but-
Arthur says Walter. That's mean. I
All
think
right, so
I
you
think
ready?
wolves are still
Yeah.
might be
What
dead.
is it?
Turtle.
Really? I've never.
Like water
All right, so-
turtles?
I'm gonna fact check
All
that.
turtles. So
I'm fact
unfortunately,
checking this
there
shit.
is a what they call it a
I have a turtle.
multi-use hole
Sphincter
in the back of a turtle.
in the backside.
That's where they breathe from. And the sad thing was, I actually was sitting here and I'm going, that can't possibly
Now,
be right.
Turtles or
So I'm
tortoises?
sitting there and I'm actually doing searches on do turtles, and the fifth one down is what?
Breathe through their butts. That's awesome.
So now there's a difference between turtles and tortoises, though.
So turtles
Whatever.
can breathe
So
through-
turtles are in water.
I
that
put
could be-
turtles.
that could be why.
Turtles.
A turtle.
What?
Don't-
jet
don't-
through its
jet
butt
propulsion?
only
What?
when- only when hibernating.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
It
Does it really
does,
matter?
They can
because
still
when
do
I
it.
hold my
Are we-
turtle, I want to
are we
make sure
gonna
his
split?
butt's not breathing.
We're
on
splitting
me.
hairs.
Number 9. What was the first patented service uniform in the U.S.?
McDonald's.
The McDonald's uniform, the Gulf oil attendant, the TWA flight attendant, or the Playboy bunny?
I'm gonna go.
What was the first patented service uniform in the U.S.? McDonald's, Gulf oil attendant, TWA flight attendant, or the Playboy bunny?
I'm going with golf.
Because he had money all the time. I'll think golf too. TWA though is really big.
Yeah.
TWA is old too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are Playboy bunnies.
We got C's so far in the audience. D for Christine.
B for Andrea.
Wow. B for Andrea.
Did everybody answer?
TWA is old. I mean,
Yeah.
Arthur
and
C.
Gulf
Will
Oil is
C.
too.
Andrea
Yeah.
B. Christine D. And she
It's gotta
said
be
she knows
B.
this one.
Christine is correct.
Oh.
Number 10.
good stab, Lindsay.
Which animal is known to have the most powerful bite in the world? Which thing in the animal kingdom, since one of these is not technically an animal, actually two of these are not technically animal. So which is not in the animal kingdom which has the most powerful bite in the world?
Ooh, I don't think it is. Ooh, I have two.
Pound for
You
pound.
can't pick two.
Pound for pound.
No. Most powerful bite in the world.
Pressure?
Most powerful bite in the world.
Then I have two answers.
Hippo, pit bull, crocodile, great white shark.
Pitbull.
See, don't tell me these were not good questions, even though they're random. These
They're
are
terrible.
good questions.
we got two D's
Yeah.
and an A so far in the
As
audience.
in bad question.
Christine says C, crocodile. Interesting.
Yeah, it was between a hippo and a crocodile.
I think great white,
Arthur says D. Andrea
but I could be
Andrea
wrong.
says D. Will says A. Christine says C. I say A or D, B.
All right, so I just want to make sure that everybody understands. I did a lot of more research than I thought I would have had to for a
This would have
simple
sucked
question
me into this.
because of the fact that it went and there were a lot of websites that talked about mammals versus land animals versus, but actually it was great white shark. I found one that actually justified how many pounds per square
Per
inch
square inch.
pressure that each one of these put.
That's why I asked that question.
Interesting.
Will says a dinosaur.
Bonus
Will
question.
says E. A dinosaur.
Bonus question. This one is for Dan.
Oh God.
He's
In
not gonna answer.
2010, Twitter and the U.S. Library of Congress partnered to archive every tweet by American citizens.
What?
Is this true or false?
Not even close. In 2010, not even
In
close.
2010, Twitter and the U.S. Library of Congress
Ooh.
partnered to
Oh
archive
no.
every tweet
I
by
take that back.
American citizens.
I take that back. They want to keep tabs on us? Absolutely they do.
Arthur says no, false.
I want Dan to answer.
He's not going.
He's
to.
not going
Dan,
to.
come on. Just a simple
Dan's
yes,
over.
simple yes or no, true or false, A or B. Come on, just something.
Christine says true. Andrea says
what
Boner
is Will
Q, A.
What does Will say? It's just
Supposed to be
Straight up
bonus.
true. I
Yeah.
know. It might be boner. It is Andrea.
you're not getting your answer.
No, it's
It
not gonna
is
answer
true.
you.
Really?
Ironically,
Yeah.
this is true.
Because they're gonna.
Oh, he said false.
It took me a minute
Since 2010,
to read it. Of course,
the
they want
U.S.
to watch
Library. So
every
Dan,
single thing.
think about this. Dan, think about the fact
God.
that every one of your tweets is currently sitting in the Library of Congress.
Since 2010.
That is it.
That's a lot of tweets, Dad.
And we are only 13 minutes late.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. We did good.
We had a hooker. That's what
We
took
did.
up
We
your
had a
The
time.
hooker was it.
Mhm.
We
did
talked
have
a lot.
hooker.
We covered a lot of news topics.
True,
Yes.
we
Yeah,
did.
we did good.
That was good. It was good content tonight.
Ouch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us.
All right.
You guys have
Dad
a great.
says, "Ain't he lucky?"
Have some Americano ammunition coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
go
you
try
can
out
order-
their new stuff.
If you go online to AmericanoAmmunitionCoffee.com, you can order it online.
Oh, they
Can you?
have
And they'll ship it to
Oh,
you.
awesome.
Yes. Yep. You can order it online.
Christine.
So there you go. Go check
Awesome.
it out. And you guys have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Chill
See ya.
out.
Bye.
Chill out.
Let's talk about our country, the red, white, and the blue. Let's stand up for glory, us patriots are true. We love America,
love America, our country God made.
Can't stop us. We're